Following one of the most critical updates to Cardano blockchain with the Versailles fork, it's probably fair to consider the performance of the top 3 Cardano DEXes by TVL versus their peers from other rival layer 1s, and to enable us to compare like for like, we shall exclude some of the major DEXes out of this exercise, otherwise this would not be an educational endeavor at all. The object of this video is to assess usage of some of these DEXes and whether the Cardano ecosystem and the community are actually ready to start using some of the dApps being built on Cardano. Hi guys, this is FD4Sage5.tv once more back with another video, and today we are going to do an update on Cardano DEXes compared to some of their rivals. If you are new, thank you very much for stopping by. Please subscribe to our channel to support our channel. This is a place to learn. If you want to learn objectively, please give us a chance, and we promise we'll share with you some information that will change your learning direction within the crypto space. If you're a regular viewer and a subscriber, thank you very much guys. I appreciate your support. Please keep supporting the channel and let's spread the word out. Let's grow our channel. Let's get bigger. Again guys, what I'm going to share with you in this video is not financial advice. These are just my own opinions. If you want some financial advice, please approach someone who's trying to do so. I'm just some dude who's sharing his opinions on YouTube. Now, it's not just about staking and swapping, folks. DeFi extends wider than that. For competing layer 1s outside of Ethereum, we are going to try and pick Solana and Avalanche to select DEXes from those two and put them head to head with Cardano's top 3 DEXes. The attributes we are going to focus on are as follows. For a DEX to be doing its basic job, it needs to allow for token swapping, okay? So swapping of native assets is one of the attributes you are going to be considering. I think this one is a straightforward one. When you visit a DEX, you expect the protocol to perform some swapping. Granted, the experience is going to differ depending on the user interface, but asset swaps is what makes this particular attribute fundamental to a DEX or decentralized exchange. The next attribute we are going to be using for this exercise is limit orders. This attribute is something that all the centralized exchanges, I'm talking of your Binance, your Coinbase, your KuCoin, your Kraken, your FTX use, and all the ones I've interacted in, they use limit orders. What about you guys? Have you come across any centralized exchange that does not offer limit orders? If you have, please comment down below and let us know which centralized exchange that is. Anyway, limit orders allow a user the independence on deciding entry and exit price levels. And once set, the user can pretty much close the decentralized application or DEX and go about their daily business. This is not a standard feature across all protocols, and especially the ones we are going to cover in this video. Some do, some won't. The third attribute we are going to be covering or considering is cross-chain swaps. This is when digital assets from other blockchains and consensus mechanisms can be swapped on a particular DEX, whether as wrapped assets or native ones. For example, Binance Smart Chain digital assets being swapped on, say, the Avalanche blockchain. The fourth attribute we are going to be considering is the buying option via integrated fiat on ramp mechanism. Once again, this one is not a common feature across all DEXes. The fifth attribute is staking. This attribute is referring to the staking of the protocol's own token or coin, which is done by some as a means of providing liquidity or to help secure the protocol. Again, here I'm not talking of staking liquidity pool tokens. No, it's the coin for that protocol. For example, if we were using Uniswap, it would be the Uni token, not the liquidity pool tokens or keys. While this is a widely applied feature across the industry, it is fair to say that not all DEXes use this mechanism, that is staking. The fifth attribute we are going to use is providing liquidity alongside farming. So we're combining liquidity provision and farming for rewards or yield farming. This appears to be a common feature across most decentralized exchanges or DEXes. For these decentralized protocols to work, they require liquidity and the creation of liquidity pools for users to deposit different digital assets. It is those pools that will ensure that tokens and coins are swapped seamlessly and liquidity remains sufficient. Some of these liquidity pools could also be used for lending and borrowing. Okay, DEXes do different things. They operate differently. Not all DEXes are created the same, that is. The next attribute we are going to be considering is stablecoin support. This is a crucial attribute as stablecoins provide a stable mechanism for valuing digital assets being swapped or purchased. There are some DEXes like those on Cardano that currently use the native primary asset in ADA to value other assets. This poses a few challenges, not least the overpricing or underpricing the assets being swapped, as everything within that transaction chain is volatile. In principle, all stablecoins should remain that stable, but as has been shown over and over again, this is not always the case. Then we're going to look at governance. Governance, which is the direction of the protocol. It requires some guidance from either a central team or the wider community. Where it is the former, that is the team, there tends to be a conflict of interest between what is good and what is right for the users and investors and what is in the interest of the project teams. Giving the community a mechanism where the protocol should go and what should be discussed and voted on is very important as long as the voting is fair and transparent. That is to say, it takes place on-chain. In some cases, the interests of the team may be running parallel to the interests of the community members. There's been numerous examples of that where project teams hide behind governance while pushing through their own views and choices, then asking the communities to sort of rubber stamp their decision. This is not the kind of governance that I'm talking about that everyone seeks. You want it to be transparent and fair. But then, what does pure democracy look like? I guess this is a separate discussion that we cannot accommodate on this channel. We also need to look at analytics. Is there any analytics provided on the platform? This attribute involves some sort of dashboard, charts, automatic data and information analysis that is ready and on tap when one is interacting with a DEX protocol. The user is not trying to skip from one dApp or platform to another to confirm pricing or to analyze trends at a very basic level. Majority of DEXes that are half decent do provide some analytics of some sort. Not all of them do that, so be aware of that. We are also looking at everyday volumes. A DEX without any users is simply useless an endeavor. The project team wants returns on its investment and effort. The liquidity providers will expect some returns if they are risking their funds. DEXes with high volumes generate high returns, broadly speaking. So if you come across a DEX that is hardly ever used, then you've got a serious problem. That is why it is always best to develop a community first with any cryptocurrency project for that matter, as it is the community who will offer the much needed traction, especially at the beginning when projects are launching from scratch. Okay, it may be a different story in a bull run than a bear market. In a bull run, anything sells. You could almost close your eyes and throw a dart, and whatever that lands, you buy that, you may make some gains from it. That's the nature of bull run. Look at how meme coins were pumping during the last bull run. It was 2021, was the end. However, when the hype dies, so does the interest in those projects, as speculators always go where they are offered the highest rewards. And then finally, we look at total value logged. Here we are having to rely on DeFi Llama to provide us with some of this information. Granted, they've had some moments sometimes where the data provided has been inaccurate or inconsistent, but it is generally reliable when considering the TVL of a DEX. Therefore, we are going to lean on DeFi Llama's data for this exercise. Now, starting with Avalanche, we have Pangolin, which is a DEX on Avalanche. Pangolin is a Uniswap fork. That's not doing bad at all. With Pangolin, users on the Avalanche network can swap Avalanche native assets. They can buy using fiat on ramp. This depends on your geographical region or jurisdiction. Users can also place limit orders, cross-chain swaps. Users can provide liquidity and take part in yield farming. Users can also stake their PNG tokens to earn rewards. There is stablecoin support on Pangolin. Pangolin also provides some protocol analytics. Total value logged at the point at which we are doing this video for Pangolin DEX is $39.82 million. Average daily volumes at the point at which we are doing this video, it's approximately $4.3 million. Next up is another Avalanche DEX in Trader Joe. Users on the Trader Joe DEX can swap Avalanche native assets. There is also cross-chain swaps available. Users can also provide liquidity and take part in yield farming. I have interacted with their staking mechanism, and yes, you can stake the Joe tokens to earn more rewards in USDC or in Joe token, your choice. Stablecoin support, protocol analytics, and the current total value logged on Trader Joe is $140.7 million at the point at which we are doing this video. Average daily volume, it's around $9.7 million. Now, those were the two Avalanche DEXs we picked. Let's go on to one of the layer ones, Solana and the Radium DEX. Users on Radium, a Solana DEX, they can swap Solana native assets. They can place limit orders. Users can also perform cross-chain swaps. They can stake their Ray tokens to earn rewards. Users can also provide liquidity and take part in yield farming activities. There is stablecoin support on Radium. Radium also provides protocol analytics. The total value logged for Radium DEX at the point at which we are doing this video is sitting at $164.5 million. Average daily volume is approximately $11.4 million. That's Radium. Having briefly reviewed the three DEXs above, two on Avalanche and one on Solana, we wanted to review another protocol on Solana called Serum, but for whatever reason, the application wasn't having none of it. We couldn't load it, try different PCs, IPC addresses, even with VPN on, still nothing. Instead, this is what we kept getting each time we tried to click on the trade button. Could this be just down to our jurisdiction, or there is a wider issue than that? If you know, please comment down below and let us know. So, with the three DEXs from rival layer 1s, how is Cardano's three DEXs holding up? Let's find out. Starting with Wing Riders, the youngest of the top three DEXs based on launch date. update. On Wing Riders, users can swap Cardano native assets, they can provide liquidity and take part in yield farming. Total value logged for Wing Riders at the point at which we are doing this video was sitting at $15.81 million. Average daily volume, we are not sure how accurate this figure is, but it's difficult to ascertain the accuracy anyway. The average daily volume is sitting at $10,000. I'm not sure. If anyone knows where we can actually get decent information on daily volumes for Wing Riders, please comment down below. I think maybe Tap Tools, maybe. Anyway, next up is MinSwap and its mint token, another Cardano DEX. Similar story. You can swap Cardano native assets, you can provide liquidity and take part in yield farming. Total value logged for MinSwap is sitting at $39.35 million, and MinSwap is the leading DEX on Cardano, and it also has the most TVL overall. Average daily volume of just under $1 million. Once again, in the absence of a stable unit of measurements, we cannot guarantee the accuracy of this figure. Again, if someone knows otherwise, please comment down below and let us know. Once you're down there, guys, don't forget to click like and subscribe, as well as smash that notification bell. And finally, the first ever Cardano DEX in SundaeSwap. This is what users can currently do when they are using this protocol. They can swap Cardano native assets, they can provide liquidity and take part in yield farming. Total value log for SundaeSwap is sitting at $14.53 million at the point at which we're doing this video. Daily average volume, $31,000. Again, we can't ascertain how accurate this is. So here's a summary of the information we just covered on the different DEXes, the 6 DEXes we've covered so far. Like I've already said, we couldn't get any information on Serum DEX, so we just stopped the review there. Starting with SundaeSwap, you can swap native assets, you cannot carry out limit orders, you cannot do cross-chain swaps, you can't buy using fiat, you can't do staking of the standard token itself, you can take part in yield farming and liquidity provision. There's no stablecoin support. The governance is coming through, it's actually going through tests. We've tried it, we voted, we did their mock voting, and it seemed to work. Average daily volume, $31,000. Protocol analytics, there are no graphs there or charts. TVL, according to DeFi Llama, 14.53 million. Next up is Wing Riders. Swap tokens, there is no limit orders, no cross-chain swaps. You can't buy using fiat. You can't stake the Wing Riders token, the WRT token. You can partake in liquid provision and yield farming activities. There is no stablecoin support. They tried once, and when we got banned with the Nomad hack, I think they stopped that. Average daily volumes for Wing Riders, again, we don't know how accurate this is. It's stated as $10,000. There are no protocol analytics. That means there are no graphs or any information. TVL, $15.8 million. Next up is MinSwap, another Cardano DEX. You can trade native assets. There are no limit orders, no cross-chain swaps, no fiat purchases, no staking of the MinSwap token. You can, however, perform yield farming activities as well as provide liquidity. There is no stablecoin support. There is no governance, not that we know of anyway, even though all these tokens or coins are being touted around as governance tokens. Average daily volume, $844,000. Protocol analytics, yes, MinSwap does produce or provide some graphs and information. TVO, according to DeFi Llama, $39.35 million. Trader Joe and Avalanche leading DEX, you can perform native swaps of the Avalanche native assets. You can't perform limit orders. There is cross-chain swaps on Trader Joe. You can't buy using fiat. There's no fiat on Ramp tools. You can stake the Trader Joe token. You can provide liquidity. You can also take part in yield farming. Stablecoin support is available on Trader Joe. There is no governance. Average daily volume, 9.7 million. Protocol analytics, yes, they do provide some graphs and charts. Total value logged for Trader Joe, $140.7 million. The second Avalanche DEX in Pangolin DEX, you can swap native assets. You can perform limit orders on Pangolin DEX. There is cross-chain swaps available. And on Pangolin, maybe it's just down to my jurisdiction, but there is a feature to purchase using fiat. There is a fiat on Ramp button on the platform. You can stake your PNG token and earn rewards. We are currently earning rewards as well. You can partake in liquid provision and yield farming activities. There is stablecoin support, both USDT and USDC. The governance on Pangolin is actually live and working. Average daily volumes on Pangolin DEX is 4.3 million. There are protocol analytics, graphs and charts. TVL for Pangolin DEX, $39.82 million at the point at which we're doing this video. Finally, Radium for Solana. You can swap native assets. You can perform limit orders. You can perform cross-chain swaps. You can't buy using fiat. There is no fiat on Ramp mechanism. You can stake your rate tokens. You can perform in yield farming activities and provide liquidity. There is stablecoin support on Radium. There is no governance, by the way. Average daily volume, $5.9 million. Protocol analytics, yes, Radium provides some charts and graphs. Total value logged for Radium, $164.5 million. So it's Radium on top, Trader Joe, then Pangolin, MainSwap, SundaeSwap, then Wing Riders. That should be the order because SundaeSwap does peak Wing Riders because of its governance function. Now, we know what drives volumes and TVL. It's usage. Avalanche has got approximately 261 protocols according to DeFi Llama and TVL of approximately $1.57 billion and a market cap to TVL ratio of approximately 3.2. The average daily volumes of its two DEXes covered in this video alongside their respective TVLs, not bad either. It could improve, that's true. These two DEXes, Trader Joe and Pangolin DEX, they offer a lot more than the other DEXes featured in this video in terms of features and attributes. While it is not a scientific review of these DEXes, there surely is some sort of correlation between the numbers we are highlighting here. What does everyone think? Please comment down below and let us know. And if you consider Solana's Radium DEX, a similar pattern is observed. The more features from the list we have created, the better. The Solana blockchain is a market cap TVL ratio of approximately 9, a TVL of $1.31 billion, and a reported 83 protocols driving the ecosystem. Now, when you turn to Cardano and the three DEXes were featured, things do take a sudden turn. Cardano, the blockchain network as a whole, is a TVL of 76.12 million as of today, the time at which we're doing this video. In terms of functional protocols, Cardano is about 12 as per DeFi Llama. Now, that figure could be questionable, granted, but here's the kicker. In terms of the market cap TVL ratio, Cardano sits at 190, way over the other two that we've covered here, the other layer ones. Considering that the leading DEXes appear to be struggling in terms of volumes, it's probably safe to say more needs to come from the Cardano ecosystem for some of the dApps to grow. Staking alone won't grow the ecosystem. The key takeaways for us from this exercise are as follows. While DEXes have provided platforms to perform swaps and yield farming, there is little coming in terms of yields themselves as one would expect. If the DEXes are not being utilized, of course there won't be rewards. The absence of a stable coin or stable coins on Cardano seem to be hampering progress for both existing and future dApps. This needs addressing soon, and maybe when Jet comes, this could be addressed. However, you are still left wondering whether the integration of existing stablecoins in USDT and USDC could possibly swing things around. Again, what do you think, guys? Comments down below. Just saying, and this needs to be done properly, not via bridges and wrapped stablecoins and stuff. The risk is too high, as we all found out not long ago with the Nomad hack. The benefit of a functional governance mechanism in a decentralized protocol means the community instead of the teams decide the direction of the project. Based on some of the updates certain teams have been making and touting them as upgrades, maybe this is a wake-up call. Those so-called upgrades are probably what the team thinks their community wants, but what do the community think? What if they want different things to what the team are prioritizing? The proof is in the pudding, right? The Cardano community may need to step in and actually start using some of these dApps and protocols. If we all focus on staking and nothing else, then won't this be akin to stashing your fiat in a bank for some interest? Surely, financial independence means more than just that, just staking. The world of finance is so varied and crying out for decentralized alternatives. And now that they are here, as humans, we revert to type, safe and comfortable. Pack it and earn some interest. Yes, I know we are all into NFTs and such, but most NFTs will go down to zero in the absence of proper utility, which is broadly the case with most NFTs across the board. We know NFTs currently are driving most of Cardano volumes. So if NFTs are to be part of the future as far as Web3 is concerned, then maybe they need to have utility first before the art. What does everyone think? Anyway, back to the DEXes. Which one is your top pick from the 6 we've featured in this video? Comments down below. And the question for you now, guys, is if you are part of the Cardano community, would you say that the right projects are being built to help drive the ecosystem forward, or you have reservations on that front? Again, comments on a postcard. As far as we are concerned here at Sage5.tv, we love all 6 of them, and we sincerely believe all 6 will have a great chance of doing well come the next bull run. What do you guys think? Comment down below and let us know. And on that bombshell, this is FD for Sage5.tv signing out. Bye for now.